If you're chasing data down instead of seeing it in one place, you need the Intuit ERP. Intuit Enterprise Suite. All your data in one place with built-in AI for real-time insights. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The Four Seasons is back for season 2, starring Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, Marco Calvani, Carrie Kenny Silver, and Erica Henningsen. After a difficult year, your favorite group of friends continues their tradition of vacationing together, now with a baby in tow. From the Jersey Shore to upstate New York and Italy, their getaways are sure to take unexpected turns where comedy ensues. Watch The Four Seasons May 28th, only on Netflix.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Hey, it's JJ Virgin, and welcome to the JJ Virgin Lifestyle Show, where we'll connect with some of the coolest people in the world. Plus, I give you tips that you can put into fast action to uplevel your health and your life. Now, today's show is all about recipe hacking. Yep, you can even hack your recipes, and you are going to want to dive right in when you hear some of the recipes and the ingredients and the deliciousness of what I'm going to share with you today. So I have a really fun guest. This is actually one of my favorite interviews of all time. So I'm super excited to share this with you. And she has figured out how to recreate things like chocolate chip cookies and pancakes and Snickers bars. And I'm serious here. Crazy stuff, as well as slow cooker meats and all sorts of yummy stuff, using no gluten or dairy or soy or cane sugar. You can see how much, why I was so enthralled. And so I'm excited to introduce Diana Keuilian to you. I actually have known her hubby Bedros for years. He's part of my inspiring panel as part of Miracle Mindset movie premiere bonuses. And she is the author of a couple best-selling cookbooks, The Recipe Hacker and then The Recipe Hacker Confidential. Stay tuned. By the way, I'm going to share with you how you can get that one for free, my favorite word. She is just passionate, as you will hear in this interview, about creating wholesome versions of your favorite foods. And again, getting out the gluten, the dairy, the soy, the grains, and cane sugar. And it's really this is like comfort food that she's made healthy, like tacos and waffles and enchiladas. I mean, you're going to just flip when you see this. She's got a ton of recipes over on her blog, realhealthyrecipes.com. And here's the thing, she has 2 young kids. So this is the litmus test. I mean, kids are not going to just eat things because you tell them to. They're going to eat things and they're going to be honest with you. So the fact that her kids love this stuff tells you everything about it. So today's guest is Diana Keuilian. All right, let's do it, Diana. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here with me today.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I love fierce mama bears. Since I'm one, you're definitely one. And that's where I'd love to start as we talk about how to hack recipes with your big driving motivation to do this in the first place. How did you get into it?
Yeah, well, you nailed it. It's my kids. And in 2005, when my son was born, the statistic came out that our kids are going to live, have shorter lifespan than us. And so I knew it had a lot to do with the way we eat these days and just with all the processed food. So kind of threw myself into, how can I make healthy food fun and exciting so that they can grow up eating it and then that they can eventually, hopefully, outlive me.
That's awesome. Because I still remember when I was growing up, there was one girl that lived down the street. Her name was Evelyn Blyer, and her mother always had her on a diet, and she always had the worst thing. It was just, she would come over to my house and just eat everything there, because she would get half a sandwich and like she literally got, I remember one time going, is that half a cookie in your lunchbox? Like she would get half a cookie and then some carrots and celery sticks. And everybody felt so sorry for I still remember her name, poor Evelyn Blyer. So no poor Evelyn Blyers on your watch. And, if we like him as kids, we'll like him as adults. So I love that because doesn't it drive you crazy to go into restaurants and the kids menu is just, oh my gosh. I'm like, really? Who does that?
Right. There's nothing that has nutritional value on those kids menus. And I have to say, from the time when my kids were toddlers, I was just ordering off a regular menu for them.
Yeah, that's that whole mac and cheese, chicken nugget, hot dog situation. Terrible. All right. So let's dive into, we've been doing a lot of hacking in our community, but you're the first recipe hacker that I've come across. So what's that mean to hack a recipe?
Well, so to me, what that means is I will take a recipe, let's say from like Rachel Ray. And like in my book, one of the recipes I have is a hamburger casserole. So, what I'm doing is I'm taking the concept of something that's already made. It's, it's filled with grains and gluten and dairy, and I'm making it essentially with vegetables and meat and spices, but it still has the same kind of flavors and the same look and feel of that traditional hamburger casserole.
Yeah, this is why I love this so much, because that's what I teach, is to do these simple swaps so that, and don't you find that like when you do this with adults, they actually like this stuff better?
They do. And, I think it's just the flavors of real food are so much better than anything that's been processed.
Yeah. So you kind of sung to my heart there because you were talking about the evil dairy, gluten, and sugar. So let's talk about what you decided to pull out and replace and why.
Right. So it's grains, gluten, dairy, soy, and cane sugar. And so I kind of call these like the deadly five. And this is, these are ingredients that are just being pumped into all the food that's out there these days. And they're actually things that are really easy to avoid when you put a little bit of effort into doing those swaps.
Yeah, I looked at your recipe book because it's, first of all, beautiful, but also I was like floating some of the names by people on one of my Facebook Lives, which was a total tease, not fair. And they're like, "Where do we get that recipe?" And I'm like, soon enough, we'll be sharing Diana with all of you. But what I love is that they're simple and that you are a non-chef chef.
Right.
Right? No intimidating chefy stuff going on over there.
Right. I know. I have zero training, and it's all just like hands-on in the kitchen. What can I get the kids to enjoy and like, and, throw together that they'll eat. So
what are some of your things, what are some of your favorite ingredients that you've discovered that you use? Because I find with so many people, that's really all they need is to know the swaps, and then it becomes much easier.
Right. Well, when it comes to doing like dinner recipes, I use so many vegetables. Cauliflower is one that is so versatile. You can do so much with it. Butternut squash keeps coming up in a lot of my stuff.
Yay! I'm a big butternut squash fan. Most underrated vegetable.
Yeah, there's so much. You can turn it into noodles. You can shred it. You can saute it. There's so many things. I mean, I bake with it sometimes. I'll, puree it and bake with it. So there's so many things you can do with the vegetables. And then when it comes to baking, because I am a big baker, and I came from a background of, making the Nestle Toll House cookies and, the butter and the refined sugar and the refined flour. So baking and making these treats that, the kids really want. Some of the ingredients that I use are, there's almond flour, coconut flour, and then I do like the coconut palm sugar. I mean, coconut, there's so many different products and things that come from coconut that we can use. It's more healthy than, like the dairy and the refined sugar. So there's so many ingredients. I could probably talk for 2 hours about it.
And I know you have ingredient lists in your book. I'm actually trying to pull up. This will just be a torture for people. So I'm just going to do this because I just am in that mood today. Listen to some of these desserts. You're just going to flip out. First of all, ginger snaps are my favorite thing ever. And I can't think of the last time I've had them because I won't have them. And I just, yes. When I was pregnant with my younger son, Bryce, I was living in Durham, North Carolina, which was really difficult coming from Berkeley. And they had this health food store, I think it was like Mrs. Gooch's, that made these. I still remember them. Like I can describe them. My mouth is watering, but you've got monster cookies, cookie dough bonbons, chocolate truffles, homemade peanut butter cups, real healthy Snickers bars. I mean, come on, Diana, really?
Can you see what motivates me?
I don't have a sweet tooth and I'm over here going, when are you coming over? Hurry.
Right. Well, I'll have to make a note to make you some ginger snaps.
Yes. That wasn't even a hint. That was like as close to a demand as I could come to. But, I know what people are thinking listening to this and are like, okay, this sounds great, but really, this sounds like it's going to take a ton of time.
A lot of my recipes are really quick. Some of them, you mentioned the real healthy Snickers, and there are 3 layers to that. So, there are some where I get a little crazy and I'll focus in on making it really like the real thing. And there are a few that take time, but generally for the most part, these are on the fly. These are for families. And the fact is I don't have a lot of time. And so I can't sit there and come up with really complicated stuff.
Yeah. Here's the thing, everybody listening, mother of 2, wife, and running a business. So there you go. Busy. You're not just hanging out getting your nails done, right?
And both my kids are in soccer. And let me tell you, I had no idea. Lunchtime, club soccer every day.
I know. I actually was cheering when my younger son was like, I don't think I want to do soccer anymore. And I'm like, yay! I admit. Is that bad, Mom?
No. Well, I've got one that plays for the city and she's like, I want to play club now. And it's like, I don't know. Club meetings. But yeah, the recipes have got to be fast because, the kids got to be fed. I need to be fed. But it all has to happen, in a short amount of time.
So what are some of the things that you can give us a couple tips for how you could save time in the kitchen?
Well, the first thing, which is a must, is figuring out what you're going to make every day of the week on the weekend. Just that alone, to where you're organized and you're not trying to figure out what you're going to make the day of.
Oh my God, I've never done that in my life. Already I'm on my knees bowing down to you. How did Oh boy, busted.
Practically, it's those days when you don't know what you're going to make that things can go downhill and it's like, oh, they need food now. What are we going to get them? So for me, when I just decide and put my foot down, it's usually Sunday. Okay, I'm just going to get my calendar out. And I actually have a program online where, it's a software and you have your calendar and you can just add to your menu and then it generates your grocery list. So I made it for myself because it's I sit down and do it manually for years. Okay, let's make this quicker. But yeah, just making the plan. Yeah. Making the plan on the weekend and then doing that grocery shopping is more than half the battle. And I usually will start the week, Mondays are almost always a slow cooker day, where I'll do meat and I'll make it enough to where Tuesday we can have that same meat with a new veggie side. So just, planning is, like I said, more than half the battle.
So you must hear it all the time that people think it's hard, they fail. Why do you think people think this is so challenging and fail? Where's the disconnect?
The way we live now, there are so many restaurants, and I think the idea of, making food at home, it's definitely going away. And just this idea that, you need to have some kind of training, or the food you're going to make isn't going to taste the way that the restaurant food tastes, and with anything, there's a learning curve. The first time that I started cooking meat, because I was a vegetarian for 18 years, before I started, cooking meat for my husband. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to get back.
That smells good.
Yeah. So he could tell you stories of me serving partially raw chicken to his family because I didn't know what I was doing, but you put in the time. And again, it goes back to your why. Why are you making the home cooked food? Why are you trying to be healthy? You need to have that motivator that makes it worth it to put in the time to get to a place where, hey, you can whip out something healthy and quick that everyone's going to enjoy once you kind of have that skill set. But it's not difficult. Anybody can cook. But you need to want to, and you need to put in the time and be okay with having a few flops.
I will tell you too, because you get down to your repertoire too of things that become super easy. So here's the funniest story. My younger son now is 19 and he's got an apartment in college. And a couple years ago, one of my friends was over at my house and she goes, "You should check your son's computer. I bet he's watching porn." I go, "He's not watching porn." Like, he's not, maybe your kid is, right? And so I go into his computer history and he's not watching porn. He's watching cooking videos.
Nice.
I know. Like, he, in his teens was like, "I'm cooking." And he goes off to college and I get him the meal plan and he's living in this sweet dorm suite the first year where they have a kitchen, and he bails on the meal plan. He starts ordering food, and now, and this is the coolest mom hack ever. So he lives in a place where Amazon Fresh delivers, so he does it on my account and I can watch everything he's eating. And he eats super healthy. Like, he once ordered he ordered bacon that had nitrates and was cured, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You need the pastured pork." He's like, "Oh gosh, sorry." But it is so cool to see that, if you look at the life skills that will be there forever and change people's lives, it's like learning how to cook, and it's not hard. As you said, you're self-taught, and this cookbook's crazy amazing, and the recipes are easy in there.
Yeah, and you know what? I think when people have a big flop, I think it just kind of deters them from going back and trying again. But you know what? All of us, I'm sure the best chefs in the world, I certainly have plenty of flops. It's just part of the learning process. But that's awesome that your son cooks. Man, I can't wait I hope one day my son, he's 11 now, and he's a great eater, but doesn't want to be near the kitchen or helping me in any way.
Yeah, it just happened later in his teens. I was absolutely shocked. In fact, one of the things I got him for Christmas, and he was overjoyed. This will just tell you. I got him a Bluetooth Instapot. And he's like, "Wow, I can cook from my bedroom." I'm like, "Uh-huh."
That's great.
Yes,
there's so many cool tools. I'm sure
list out a couple cool tools that you love and use.
Okay, definitely.
Since you brought it up.
Yeah, food processor, hands down, I use that thing every single day. I had a Cuisinart one for 14 years, and it died on Thanksgiving this year.
Oh, how dare it!
I know. I literally would use this thing almost every day for 14 years. So I got a new one. So food processor, a spiral slicer, which is, the little tool to turn vegetables into noodles.
Yeah, NutriBullet has one now called the Veggie Bullet that does it. Okay. I got to hook you up with them. I will do that.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone could live without it. It is essential in my kitchen. A great blender is a definite. And then, the basics, you need good knives. I mean, just something simple like a good cutting board and a good knife. If you don't have that, well, that's a huge obstacle to, making just a very simple meal. And then, high quality. I spend a lot of money on getting the highest quality of skillets, baking pans, casserole pans, because, it will last you decades, and it makes a huge difference in how the food turns out and how the food tastes. So I would say definitely, for people who are just starting to cook, it's going to look expensive, a high-end skillet. It's going to be worth every single penny because you're going to use it all the time.
Yeah, they last forever. I mean, that's the big thing, is that you look at how long your food processor just lasted, 14 years, and pans don't have a piece in them there, so it's not like it's a food processor. So you've got to really look at these as investments. I mean, I've been pulling my pans with me everywhere I've gone. Now, I'm going to throw a curveball. Okay. So, what's the one thing, Diana, you do every day that you think makes the biggest difference in your life?
Is this has to be food related?
No. Anything at all. Open door.
I am going to say just the time that I spend every day in gratitude. I think, in my book, I do share that I did have a pretty bad cancer diagnosis a couple of years ago with melanoma. And I was very lucky that it hadn't, spread enough to be that big of an issue, and we were able to get it out surgically. But since then, it was about 2 years ago, I'm just grateful every day I wake up and every day that I get to be in the kitchen cooking and I get to, be raising my kids, and it's just gratitude. I think gratitude every day is a huge part of my life, and that is, I think, makes the biggest difference, because when you're in a place of gratitude, the little stresses that come up, they don't matter the way they do when you're coming from a place, a different heart set. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for.
That was exactly what I was looking for. And what you don't know, because we haven't gotten to know each other well enough yet. I say yet. I can't wait to have you over, is that when my son was the victim of a hit and run and left for dead in the street, one of the things I teach people now is the way I got through that is every day, and I've done it for decades, I start the day with my journal and write 3 things I'm grateful for every day. I think that is one of the most significant things we can do. So I love that you just validated it, and we never talked about it. So cool. Yes. Now, I know you have all sorts of cool stuff, and one of them is you have this, I love this cookbook. You have your Recipe Hacker Confidential cookbook that you are giving to my community for free. All they need to do is help out a little bit with shipping and handling. So some of those recipes I just teased you with, that wasn't very nice. And those were the desserts. There's breakfast. There's like a three ingredient pancake recipe in there. There's amazing slow cooker recipes and great veggie side dishes. Just incredible stuff in there. And you can get that free by going to jjvirgin.com/Diana. And it's Diana, Diana. And grab that. And I just love having you on. I can't wait to be in the kitchen with you.
Yes, me too. That'll be
great.
I
can't wait. So thank you so much for joining me. Now, after the break, I'm going to be answering a listener's question. So stay with me.
If you want to lose weight even faster, here's the 2-word secret: extra fiber. JJ Virgin's extra fiber fights hunger. It's detoxifying, and it's the secret to a healthy gut. JJ's extra fiber is grain-free, paleo-safe, and doesn't contain any harmful irritants or allergenic proteins, so you can happily and more safely move towards your weight loss goals. Visit jjvirgin.com/products to give your body the well-rounded consumption of fiber it needs to help balance blood sugar, support healthy digestion, and stay fuller longer. Visit jjvirgin.com/products and get your fiber.
Welcome back. This is the time where I answer a listener's question. Today's question is from Marie in Oxnard, and she says, JJ, I'm really trying to eat healthy, but I need to stay on a budget, and I don't want to spend more money. What do I do? I got to tell you, this question comes up a lot. In fact, I've got some blogs, if you head on over to jjvirgin.com, where I talk about how to eat healthy and save money. But the reality actually is that it is cheaper to eat healthy because it's the prepared and processed foods that reckon your budget. So the first rule of thumb is to buy as close to nature as possible. So lentils and legumes, if you eat grains, wild rice and quinoa, and buy these things in bulk and then package them into smaller containers, airtight containers. But that's the first thing, as I've found, is that I actually save money eating healthy. It's the bottled salad dressings. It's the prepared vegetable salads, all that stuff that costs money. So you want to buy these things in bulk and you do the work. And then the next thing to look at is pretty much everywhere now they have the farmers markets. And that's a great place to go. First of all, it's fun. But if you can make that just a point to go to your farmers market, get to know the different farmers, cut out the middleman, that's another great thing to do. Of course, whenever I see a sale on anything like grass-fed beef or wild salmon or pastured pork and chicken, I go and stock up. And I also have a couple great resources over on my website for things that I use on a regular basis from places like ButcherBox and Thrive Market and Vital Choice. So this is another place where I save money and get really high quality things. And then one of the biggest places I see that people waste money is on wasted food. And so that's where you want to be really careful about purchasing things correctly. I love Diana's tip, which I've never done, full disclosure, but I was listening to that going, that's so great. So I've just made it a point to stock my freezer, my pantry, and then to just get fresh vegetables each week. But gosh, just think if I actually thought about this. So I'm going to start preparing too. And one other thing that's great to do is to look for the generic organic brand at the store. And I'm going to do a shout out to Whole Foods on this because their 365 organic brand was built to compete against the other stores, and it is a great savings. So that's another easy tip that you can put into place. All right. If you'd like to submit a question, head on over to my Facebook page at JJ Virgin Official. Look for that little blue check mark. That's me. And I have a favor to ask. It helps so much to get great reviews. So, hint, hint, I would really appreciate it if you could jump over to Stitcher or iTunes and leave a review. And while you're there, subscribe and share the show with your friends. Thank you. This is JJ Virgin signing off and reminding you to live courageously. Show up. Step up. You are stronger than you think.